Welcome back to Fact Bloom Insights. On the morning of April 16, 1947, the quiet port town of Texas City, Texas, was transformed in an instant. What began as a routine day would become one of the deadliest industrial disasters in United States history. A catastrophe that not only devastated a community, but also reshaped safety standards across the country. The Texas City disaster, as it came to be known, stands as a stark reminder of the potential consequences when industrial progress outpaces safety. Texas City, in the 1940s, was a bustling hub for shipping and refining, its port a vital artery for the nation's petrochemical industry. On that fateful morning, the French-registered cargo ship SS Grandcamp was docked at Pier O, loaded with more than 2,300 tons of ammonium nitrate fertilizer, a chemical compound often used in agriculture, but also highly explosive under certain conditions. The ammonium nitrate was intended for export to Europe, where it would help restore war-torn farmland after World War II. Nearby, another ship, the SS High Flyer, was loaded with sulfur and additional ammonium nitrate. The disaster began innocently enough. Longshoremen noticed smoke rising from the cargo hold of the Grandcamp. At first, efforts to extinguish the fire were routine: hoses, buckets of water, even attempts to close the hatches and smother the flames. The ship's captain, aware of the sensitivity of his cargo, ordered the hold sealed and steam pumped in, hoping to quell the fire without disturbing the cargo. But the fire persisted, and conditions inside the hold grew more perilous by the minute. At 9:12 a.m., amid a crowd of curious onlookers and workers, the Grandcamp exploded with a force so powerful that it registered as a seismic event. The blast sent a mushroom cloud over 2,000 feet into the air, shattering windows up to 40 miles away and knocking airplanes out of the sky. Fragments of the ship, some weighing several tons, were hurled across the city. The official death toll reached nearly 600, including 28 firefighters and 27 members of the Texas City Volunteer Fire Department. But some estimates suggest the number could be higher, given the many unrecognizable remains. More than 5,000 people were injured. The devastation was staggering. The blast flattened homes, businesses, and factories across a 1,000-acre zone. The Monsanto chemical plant, located just across the slip from the Grandcamp, was obliterated, killing 145 workers in an instant. Fires raged for days, fueled by the volatile chemicals stored throughout the industrial district. The city's hospital was overwhelmed, and every available public building was converted into makeshift treatment centers and morgues. The Red Cross, Army, and local volunteers mobilized quickly, but the scale of the disaster strained resources to their limits. In the aftermath, the second ship, SS High Flyer, became another ticking time bomb. Damaged and burning from the initial blast, it too was loaded with ammonium nitrate. As crews struggled to tow the vessel away from the docks, it exploded roughly 15 hours after the Grandcamp, compounding the destruction and further endangering the city. The second explosion killed at least 2 more people and reignited fires that had begun to subside. The Texas City disaster ripped through the heart of the community. More than 500 homes were destroyed, and thousands of residents were left homeless. The economic toll was immense. Damages were estimated at over $100 million, equivalent to more than $1 billion today. The city's infrastructure was crippled, and the recovery process would take years. Beyond the immediate destruction, the disaster exposed serious shortcomings in industrial safety practices. Ammonium nitrate had been handled for years with little understanding of its explosive potential, especially under heat and pressure. In Texas City, the combination of confined storage, rising temperatures, and a poorly understood chemical reaction proved fatal. The disaster prompted sweeping changes in how hazardous materials were stored, transported, and regulated. The federal government introduced new safety codes for the handling of chemicals, and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, was later established in part to address such dangers. The legal repercussions were also unprecedented. In 1948, survivors and relatives of victims brought suit against the United States government, claiming negligence in the manufacture and shipment of ammonium nitrate. The case, Deadliest vs. United States, became one of the largest mass tort actions in American history. Although the Supreme Court ultimately ruled in favor of the government, the case set important precedents for future liability claims and compensation for disaster victims. What makes the Texas City disaster so haunting is not just the scale of the tragedy, but the stories of those who lived through it. Survivors recall the moment the sky darkened, buildings collapsed, and the city was plunged into chaos. Families were torn apart, and entire neighborhoods were erased in seconds. In the days that followed, the community came together, united by grief and resilience. People opened their homes to the displaced, and volunteers worked tirelessly to treat the wounded and recover the lost. It was an extraordinary display of solidarity in the face of unimaginable loss. For many, the disaster remains a deeply personal memory, a wound that never fully heals. Annual memorials are held in Texas City to honor the victims and remind new generations of the importance of vigilance and safety. The explosion is etched into the fabric of the city, shaping its identity and its future. From an analytical perspective, the Texas City disaster was a convergence of miscommunication, inadequate safety protocols, and a lack of awareness about chemical hazards. The handling of ammonium nitrate, both in terms of storage and firefighting methods, was woefully inadequate. The decision to seal the holds and pump in steam, while well-intentioned, increased pressure and temperature, accelerating the chemical reaction that led to the explosion. The lack of evacuation procedures and the presence of onlookers and workers near the burning ship compounded the tragedy, resulting in a higher death toll. The disaster also highlighted the need for coordinated emergency response. Local fire departments were ill-equipped to handle such a large-scale chemical fire, and communication between the various agencies was limited. The lessons learned from Texas City led to the development of better emergency management systems and improved coordination among first responders. In reflecting on the Texas City disaster, one is struck by both the fragility and the resilience of human communities. The explosion was a catastrophic failure of safety, but it was also a turning point, a moment that spurred meaningful change. The disaster forced a reckoning with the risks inherent in industrial progress and underscored the need for robust safety standards. It also revealed the extraordinary capacity of ordinary people to come together in times of crisis, to rebuild, and to remember. Today, the story of Texas City serves as a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration. It reminds us that vigilance, preparedness, and compassion are essential in a world where progress and peril often walk hand in hand. The lessons learned from that tragic day continue to shape policy, industry, and community, ensuring that the sacrifices made are never forgotten and that future generations remain ever watchful for the dangers that lie hidden in the pursuit of progress. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to follow the next videos.